Hi, Mark Diaz here for 2danimation101.com. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to import images into Photoshop so you can trace them and create interesting backgrounds from pictures for your animations. For example, this is an image, a picture of a real living room that we transformed into a background for an animation, for a little scene. I took everything here and transformed it into this setting. You see? I have the chair, the table, everything here. I just modified this wall. And instead of having a window, I just put another of the paintings right here. You see? Let's compare them. And so, this is what we are going to be doing in the next couple of lessons. You see, the two images are very, very similar because I traced it. All I did is import this image and transform everything into drawings. This is one thing, and another thing we are gonna be doing is how to take just a picture, for example this wall, and transform it into a 3D setting, okay, inside Photoshop. Okay? So let's see how you can import images to do those kinds of backgrounds. The first thing is, if you want to follow along, you can just download this file, okay? And once you have it in your computer, if you have a Mac, you can just double click on it and copy its contents. But if you are on Windows, you will need WinRAR. WinRAR is a software you can download for free and just keep using the trial version. So if you don't have it, just go to Google and search for WinRAR download. I search for that one and just download this version right here. Click there, WinRAR download. And from here, there are a couple of versions. You have English, you can select the language, and you can select the type of system you have. You can choose if you have a 64-bit system or 32, okay? I will just click on that one, then it downloads, and once you have it installed, you can just double click on the Photoshop project files, and then this is a notification, I'm gonna close it, click in extract to, and press OK. Then I can close WinRAR, and now I have this folder. Inside, you will find a folder called images, and so I'm going to import this file into Photoshop. How? Very, very, very easy. It's super easy. All you have to do is click and drag from Windows Explorer or Finder if you're on a Mac into Photoshop. That's all. You just drag and drop. Drag, click and drag, and drop it in Photoshop. There. Once you import it, it automatically gives you the opportunity to scale it. I can just click on the scale. I'm holding Shift because I don't want to distort it. I hold Shift and Alt to scale it from the center. Okay? And that's it. Once you're satisfied, you can just press Enter in your keyboard. And now I have an image. That's one way. Another way is you can click and drag, and instead of dragging into the document, you can drag into the top part of Photoshop. And it will open that file as a new document, just in case you want to use some Photoshop techniques of reducing the levels or color correction, whatever you want to do. Let me close it. Let me just press Ctrl W to close that tab. And okay, now you know two ways. One is to open it as a new document, but the way we are going to be using is importing into our document as a new layer so we can start working on it. And anytime I want to edit it, I can just double click here and that opens the file. Okay, let me close it. I can either press the X to close the tab or press Ctrl W, which is the one I use. Okay, so those are two types of importing an image. Another thing you can do is, what if you don't have the file, right? What if you have, let me go over to this tab. What if you want an image from a Photoshop file? Maybe I want this layer, the tree, and I want to put it inside here, inside this document. How can you do that? Well, let me show you how I do it. First, I have two tabs right here, okay, in my workspace inside Photoshop. So what I do is I take the file that has the object, which is tree. Let me rename it real quick. Tree. And I want to put this layer, well, let me use white, this layer, and put it as a new layer right here. This is how I do it. I just click and drag this tab. I click and drag outside so I don't have it maximized in Photoshop. Like this. Click and drag. And now it's a new window. Okay? And I can make that window smaller, and I have another document, the document I'm working on, I have it on the background. And so I can just click and drag any layer, in this case the tree, I can click and drag and drop it to my document, to my working document. Let me release the click, and that drops it. And of course, I don't delete anything here. This document remains intact. But now, in my other document, I'm going to close this. Well, actually, if you want to put it the way it was, you can just click and drag and put it on the top. There you go. I have it as it was. And now I have that layer in this document. Okay? So now you know two ways to import images to your document, to your working document, or you can also click and drag to open it as a new file, as a new document. Okay? Very good. That's it for this lesson. Now in the next one, I'm gonna show you how to use distort points to make this effect of taking one layer, one 2D layer, and create a 3D shape from it. Okay? See you in the next lesson.